theater magic isn't what makes dance great. The body is what makes dance great.
I feel like we're getting married right now. Like looking into each other's eyes, saying like how we met. More wine, David? Midway through. David? Or I'm going to ask. These are the questions I'm going to ask.
I think it'll be great. It'll be great. Yeah.
Welcome to a special edition of Dancing in the District. I'm Claire Alrich, and I'm here with Hayley Cutler, who is the artistic director of Darlingdance. Hayley and I know each other as friends and colleagues in the DC dance world, and I've also been a dancer with Hayley and Darlingdance for the last 10 years this fall. So, yes. And we are here to talk about your upcoming show at the Kreeger Museum, No Dead Ends, amongst other things.
Should we cheers to 10 years?
Yes, cheers to 10 years. Oh,
cheers.
There you go. Let's just start off with, the age-old question I feel like that comes up at any family gathering.
Yeah.
Still dancing. Are you still dancing?
Still dancing.
Still dancing.
Still dancing. As I edge closer to 40, which, as my gynecologist described recently, is like, apparently close to death for women.
New frontier.
New frontier. Yeah. It's a new frontier. I'm still dancing, still making work, still having to explain to people what it means to have a career as a choreographer and a performer in this field. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess if you can talk about sort of that determination or continuity in your life, because we are existing in a world, I think, that is not necessarily clamoring, at least outwardly, for more dance and more things. So I think why you've kept making dances and perhaps what continues to motivate you.
Yeah. I think that what I've learned is that no matter what the external factors are, I, for whatever dumb reason, just continue to have the impulse to create. And I think a lot of artists feel that way. And I know you and I have talked about this a lot. Like, I simply can't help it. And so what I have to do in order to make it like a rational thing to keep pursuing is to, I think, constantly be like reframing what my goal is with it.
Yeah.
And I think like an overarching narrative there with a lot of little like detours and punctuated moments in between has been like in my 20s, I had a goal of like getting the biggest grant, getting the biggest commission, getting a big tour, partnering with, this folk and or these folks and this institution and whatever, and having like this outward recognition. And then in my 30s, due to, I think, like, outside things and also just my personal life shifting and perhaps just getting older, the goal has changed. And the goal has been to do it because I love it and because I want to, and because I have to. And so I've been able to keep going in that way. Like, just like, it's enough to just want to do it. And it's enough to have a goal of just like creating for the sake of creating.
Great. Well, then tell us about this upcoming show, which is the Saturday, September 28th? 27th.
So
there we
cool,
go.
Yeah.
27th. Got it.
You are in it. You are in it, so I hope you show up.
I'll be there.
Yep.
It's on my calendar. It's hard.
It's on my calendar.
I get messed up in the 20s sometimes.
Should I send you a cal invite?
Send me a calendar. Well, no, you have. You've sent me a calendar.
Okay.
Right? It's on my calendar.
In real, my like new corporate speak.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Corporate speak.
I did not know what a Google Calendar was until like 6 months ago.
That doesn't seem right. But okay. So tell us about how this show, the Kreeger, came to be, your connection to the space, and maybe how that has all kind of informed your process too.
Sure.
Obviously.
Yeah. So after about like 15 years of making dance as Darling Dance, my I would say like in the last like 10 or so years, the focus has really been on like site specific work. Maybe it always has, but and so that's sort of always what I'm pursuing. And I will try to make this story short, but it was sort of kismet. I got a grant to make a new work and had nowhere to make it. And it was the first time in my career that that's happened. Usually the grant has been, usually I'll get a grant to support a work that has already been commissioned. So I know exactly when it's happening, where it's happening, all that good stuff. And it has some like support behind it. And so I had this money and I had nowhere to use that money and to spend it and nothing to do. And so I called up Natalie Von Vey from WPA, who is a sort of like longtime collaborator and just a marvelous person. And I said, will you self-produce a work? And we met to talk about it. And she said, like, what is your dream for this money? Like, where, if you could show work anywhere, where would it be? And I immediately said the Kreeger Museum. I'd been wanting to do something at the Kreeger for so long. In my life as like a day walker without a 9 to 5 job, I spent a lot of time, a lot of days in museums and a lot of time at the pool by the Kreeger, just like contemplating why I was sitting at a pool on a Tuesday at 10 a.m. So basically she said, okay, like, great, that's a great goal, but like, let's think of maybe 10 other possibilities because that is like never going to happen. And the next night I was at an event and I look over and there's a woman wearing a name tag and that name tag said Kreeger Museum on it. And I ran right over to her and I was like, I have to tell you that just yesterday I was talking about how like you're my dream girl. And she was like so open to it and so great. Patience. That's her name, and also has been very patient with us. And
Wow.
I'm sure she's never heard that before.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just kind of went from there and worked out. And they have been so great. And I feel like I'm kind of living a little bit of a dream. I do wish I had, like, I think I'd been scared to start and scared to ask. And now that it's been such a pleasant experience, I'm like, man, I should have reached out to them a long time ago because I would have liked to have. Usually it takes me like 8 months to a year to make a work. And we've done this work in like 5 months, 4 months.
About that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but it's been lovely. Yeah.
And me, I know like for kind of before even getting the dancers together, you did some like research about the space and its history.
Yeah. So,
and yeah, maybe if you can talk a little bit about that. How that's come into it.
So one of the reasons why I've always loved the space is A, because of the art inside, but also because of my love of mid-century modern architecture. And the building is just like such a cool example of that kind of home. But like, yeah, just, the coolest example perhaps. And just as somebody like working as an artist in DC for a long time, the Kreeger name has always been, present. And I was able to do a little research into the architect of the space. And then obviously the woman, the lady of the home, Carmen Kreeger. And it sort of solidified for me that that was where this next work was supposed to happen because there were just a lot of, I don't know, synchronicities between the things that I'm interested in and the things that Carmen was interested in and conceptually what the architect was doing with the space.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, so I feel like we sort of talked about site specificness and architecture, so
I'll keep talking about it though.
Well, okay, yeah. I guess just talk a little bit more and we can see
Okay.
what, fits in here. But how does site specific, like how does architecture inform your work?
Yeah.
I know personally I have performed on street corners, in your studio apartment, in museum courtyards. Trying to think of other basketball court. So you've definitely put work in a lot of different spaces around the city. Yeah. So I think maybe talking about how does you approach site specific choreography?
Yeah.
And maybe if you want to talk about, because I do think you've done it all over the city too, of like how the different DC as a site
Yeah,
to affect
yeah.
that if you want to get there.
I think it's like I feel pretty whimsical about it sometimes, and then sometimes I feel pretty serious about it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
did this solo called "Fuck You, Florida," and it was like uh, built from like years of frustration of like being catcalled on Florida Ave, and I just went like kind of balls to the wall with it and was like it was very therapeutic. But then there's also times where I'm like, this space is so pretty. But I think that the obsession with site specificity um, for me is really about the relationship that I've always sort of felt with my audience, which is that like um, and I'm saying this with like kindness and love. I don't really care like what you understand about this work, and I care that you're here so deeply, but I'm not here like for your comfort. Like you're choosing to see this, or you're like stumbling upon this, and you can choose to leave. And I think site specificity like really lends itself to that kind of almost like purposely tense relationship with an audience.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be like positively tense and like filled with tension can be positive and maybe negative, but um, yeah, and there's a bit of like not knowing, but then I think the real drive for me for site specific work um, is that I want to insert myself and the people that I work with like really loudly and bigly, hugely um, into all sorts of spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Like just really, um, yeah, I just want to like aggressively take over some space. Yeah. For a number of reasons that we can get
Yeah.
into later, but yeah.
Well, actually, maybe that does bring a good question. So, in 2022, you were listed as 6 dance companies to know in District
Mm.
Cray magazine, and you did say we're taking up space in a field that doesn't want a range of women or range of bodies to do so.
Yeah.
So, maybe you could just talk more about that
Yeah.
kind of quote and how you feel about, yeah, sort of this how that and if you feel like, I mean, 2022 not that long ago, but also a lot has happened, and how that continues to feel
Yeah.
relevant or not, and how perhaps like that relationship, body taking up space as like a motivation, has shifted in your own life over
Yeah.
time. So a lot probably there, but
Yeah. I mean, I will say like a lot has happened, but actually like not really. Like I still feel exactly the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
And maybe even like more
Mm-hmm.
um intense about it. I remember, I think that this like obsession started. I mean, I've always been sort of like maybe the loudest person in the room often. And as you know, like um, never a wallflower, but I like have this really distinct memory of being like in third grade, maybe a little bit older, maybe it was like fourth or fifth, but and some scouts from Boston Ballet came to my little dance studio in Salem, Mass, and like lined us up in our ballet class. And have I ever told you this?
I'm not sure. I
It's
don't
this
know.
is kind of crazy, and it
I feel
really like
nervous.
kind of set, yeah.
Yeah.
And this like young ballerina who was like there to scout, who's probably like maybe in her 20s, like came over to me and was like, "Your boobs are too big. You'll never be a ballerina. You should pursue something else." Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I, instead of being like, I mean, like, yeah, like, and then the eating disorder follows and whatever. But
Yeah.
instead of being like walking away, I was like, oh no, bitch,
Yeah.
you'll never get rid of me.
And in fact, I'm dancing topless.
Yeah. 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 Which I continue to do. Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah, and then so I was really lucky to go to a high school with a really incredible dance program with teachers from the 5 colleges. Specifically, Gretel Schatz was the director of the dance program and still is. And Gretel sort of like continued to like kick that door open for me of like, you can roll around on the floor and you can like do anything, and like taught me improvisation, and yeah, it just kind of snowballed from there. But I think that all lends itself to your original question, which I'm going to be honest, I'm forgetting.
Just sort of that quote of like taking up
Oh
space,
yeah,
like body
yeah,
and range of bodies taking up
yeah.
space, and that is sort of like
I
a
think
part
it's
of your
been
choreographic
like,
vision.
yeah, it's been like one of, I would say maybe like 2 obsessions
Yeah.
for me with movement is like,
Mm-hmm.
and also like just getting other people in space. Like I think that we've all been in like audition scenarios or class scenarios where like every modern dancer looks the same. Like it
Mm-hmm.
has become the ballet.
Yeah,
Modern dance
right,
has
yeah.
become the ballet of the dance world.
Yeah.
It's like everyone looks exactly the same and everyone moves the same and it's so fucking
Mm-hmm.
boring. And what I think is so exciting is like I think because of the way that I look or looked or whatever, the way that my body has always moved, I've had to like really develop my own aesthetic and my own way of working.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that maybe has served me well. At least it has kept me honest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not, touring my work, but so maybe it hasn't. But if I see like, I just feel like it's so bland out there. I'm so sick of, yeah,
Mm.
we can get into it, but
That's for the podcast. Subscribe to our podcast.
subscribe to our
If you want all
podcast.
the treat.
We've been trying to make a podcast, and by trying, I mean vaguely talking about making a podcast.
The podcast is here in Hayley's house.
The podcast
It's
is
a live podcast. It's always a live podcast. Strangely.
It's me talking into the dog camera.
Yeah, subscribe to Hayley's dog camera. That's illegal. Don't do that. Don't do
Please
that.
don't. Please don't.
Okay. But I do feel like that talks a little bit more about like sort of the audience relationship, because inherently
Yeah.
any like, okay, I'm putting the body out, that's relationship with the viewer, right? So you're
Yeah.
like questioning that relationship with the viewer, and you have
Yeah.
this thing of like, I don't care lovingly, I don't care what
Yeah.
you're getting from it.
But I think actually I care a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's like I don't care like to I don't care to do this the way that is like comfortable or that you want me to do it. But I really care that like you understand that there is a like a purpose to what I'm doing and that there's
Yeah.
a political statement to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that like I want to see like big bodies and queer bodies and all sorts of bodies and like bodies that dance weird, like bodies that don't move like every other, my like
I was like, as I've been dancing with you for 10 years, I'm like, what are you?
total weirdo. I mean, that's true.
That's true.
It's true. Like, I don't know. I'm like always thinking about this like one movement that like every fucking postmodern dancer does. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to get up and do it, but I'm like so sick if I see that one more time. And I'm like, there's so many more interesting bodies doing cooler stuff because they're not just like laying on technique onto themselves that they learned from someone else. They are like, they are the technique. Yeah.
They are the technique.
They are the technique. Be the technique you want to see in the world.
Well, okay, this match maybe. So another quote that we'll pull out from you. So forever unapologetic in your 2024 interview.
Oh no,
with Natalie.
With Natalie.
For watching Project of the Arts, you said, I'm pretty obsessed with understanding why I am the way that I am and how I feel the way that I feel in physical space.
Yeah.
I love finding other people who are equally self-absorbed.
Yeah.
And so I guess that goes to like, can you maybe tell us more about like the cast for this specific project, or just in general how you think about like how you're working with it and how that sort of informs process.
The most beautiful, talented, perfect cast. Of course. No, I mean I think when I talk about self-absorption, I'm thinking about the fact that like I am so much more interested in like me being authentic and like living really authentically than I am in like how other people perceive me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck. I think that and I think that's clear from anyone who's known me for more than like
clear.
Yeah.
It's clear. Yeah.
It's pretty as you back away from me.
It's coming clear.
Yeah. So I think the self-absorption is really like it's not like she's a narcissist. It's like I am like really interested in like finding out like who my truest self is. And when I work with dancers, I don't do an audition process because I think it's bogus and it like is kind of antithetical to what I believe and how I live. But I am like drawn to people who, like move in their own way, who engage in rehearsal in their own kind of like quirky way, for lack of a better word. Yeah, I think that the dancers that I most regularly work with, what's so interesting about them is that they all have their own creative lives.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just like waiting for me to tell them what to do. Like you all are coming to rehearsal with your own aesthetic. I can't say that word. Aesthetic.
I think you got it.
Okay.
Aesthetic.
You taught me how to say the word detritus.
Detritus.
I thought that it was detritus
Yeah.
my whole life.
Detritus.
You taught me that it was detritus, and I think I fought you on it too.
Yeah, but then you know who actually emphasized that for me in Barbara Shell Street.
Shout out to Barb.
Shout out to Artstream.
Yeah.
That was a word in a song she wrote, Detritus.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think about that. Elocution.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, like, all of you are like sort of coming to the space with your own way of responding to things. Like there's no aping. There's no like, oh, you want me to do this? Okay, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it exactly like you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that really just like falls in line with my desire to be like, as in my personal and my artistic life are the same thing, and my professional life, all that stuff, is like this obsession with being like totally authentic. I am incapable of lying. I'm incapable of like hiding how I feel in any moment. Like in the middle of a show where I'm like hitting you being like, this is so bad, or this is so great. I know it's like that, but it is like and I think that obsession really carries into how I choose collaborators. Yeah. Like I it's all people who I think, also people who like are able to sort of hold me to account too. Yeah.
Great. Shifting a little bit, if you'd say your work has a certain tone, well, what tone would you say the overall body of work has?
Were you in the room when this happened, when we got that review?
I mean, I read the review.
I think you were in the room.
I could have.
We were backstage at Dance Place. It was like our second night of a show. Back when you could do things more than once.
Yeah.
In dance. 2 nights in a row.
This show happens one time. FYI, get your tickets.
Oh, it's so depressing. One and done.
One and done. And it's beautiful.
But if you pay us, we'll come to your backyard.
Won't be the same.
It won't be the same because it's not site specific.
Yes.
It's fleeting. I love it.
It's fleeting. It's beautiful.
Anyway, what was the question?
The tone.
Oh, the tone.
Which is a leading question to a story.
It's a leading question. When the Washington Post used to review dance through the lens of ballet only, sorry, Rebecca Ritzel, not cool.
Although we love, please someone review dance.
Please someone review dance. I'll do it.
Even through the lens of ballet.
I'll do it, and I'll be like, this is so good, or this is so bad.
I'll review things through the lens of ballet, actually.
We should do it. Maybe the Washington Post, maybe Jeff Bezos will hire us.
I'll say it's through the lens of ballet only. I mean, I
can't participate. Let me tell my story.
Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah.
Rebecca Ritzel wrote a review of Darling Dance. I can't even remember I think it was the one where you all were in your underwear. It was Cradle. It was Cradle, 2015.
Which was the first piece I was in.
Yes, yeah. And she called it tonally bizarre. Not totally bizarre, but tonally bizarre.
Yes.
And we have sort of like taken that as our as our group motto, and really run with it. And I love it because my work is tonally bizarre. I like don't play with sound in a way that makes sense, because I often don't play with sound at all. I have no concept as a choreographer of like keeping time, or like there are no counts, there's no beats. Sometimes there's a question of like, how fast do you want this? And I'm like, I don't know, how fast can you do it? I don't know. It's like not the most interesting thing to me.
Shout out to Amber. Who can do it. Don't put me in the room when Amber has to do it, because I'm like, oh, she's doing it fast.
She's doing it fast.
Not keep up.
And she's doing it, and she's retrograding it, and also it's upside down.
Yeah. Amber Lucia Chavis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out.
But yeah, so I do think that my work is tonally bizarre. I wear that as a badge of pride. I think that I'm not trying to... here's the thing. Can I go on a little rant?
Here we are.
Okay, I'm going to go on a little rant. And I think actually I'm thinking about this because of a question that maybe we were going to get to anyway. But like, I am so bored watching dance these days I am so bored by dance and I want someone to prove me wrong. I want someone to like show me a dance that like changes my perspective, but I have not seen something that has like sparked like any kind of energy in me in a long time. I think that all modern dance looks the same right now. And I think that part of it is that I think that part of it is that Claire's slowly walking away. She doesn't want to be part of
I
this.
just feel like there's been a lot of shows reviewed. Anyways.
No, I mean obviously I love like my friends' work and stuff, but I'm talking about being like earth shaken by like I don't know.
Earth shaken to the core.
Is that what it, yeah, that's not a phrase, but
yeah, no.
No, but even great work, like I can love it, I can appreciate it, but like work that like really changes you and impacts you, I'm just seeing so much of the same stuff. And I think there are a couple of reasons. One is like just that, that word again, aesthetics, like just, come in trends and waves. But then also, I think that everybody that I'm seeing seems to be making work. And there's a lot, like I'm generalizing, there's a lot that I see. And there are a lot of like friends of mine who make work that I think is like so special and so them and like perfect. But I think there's a trend across like dance nationally where people are just trying to make work to like get a grant and to like get the next thing. And so it's all so boring and it all looks the same and it all talks about the same stuff and whatever. And I want no part of it. Yeah.
Great. And was there like a conclusion to the rant, or why did you go on this rant?
I don't remember.
Okay, we're talking about the tone, tonally bizarre.
Oh yeah, so I'm like, I wear that as a badge of pride. I'm happy to be tonally bizarre. I'm happy to like, maybe work a little bit outside of like what people expect from a dance because I have no plans for my dances outside of the desire to make them and making them.
Yeah. So would you say the tone of this performance, like tonally bizarre? Yeah. What would you say if you had to give this performance a tone?
It's an absurd tone.
Absurd tone.
And I think it's I think it is tonally coherent in its incoherence.
Okay.
Like maybe you're listening to a song and the bridge doesn't sound like the intro and the chorus doesn't seem like the verses, but then at the end you're like, I liked that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you? I mean, you're in it.
I feel like it's very hard for me to understand what something is like when I'm in it.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. But
this is why I don't dance in my own work.
Yeah, because it's very hard to know from
and
the
because
inside,
I'm not as good of a dancer as my dancers. There's that too.
But I do feel like, okay, because you said, you don't use sound so much, and I think this performance is true to that in some ways. But but I actually think you are not true. You are interested in like sound that comes from bodies and like sound of space.
Yeah.
And then you also love like a surprise pop song.
I love pop music. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think just hearing more about your relationship to sound and things.
I was thinking there's not a pop song in this, but now there is.
Is that whispered song happening?
Claire.
We'll cut it. Cut that. That's a cut out. That's a cut out.
I'm just kidding. No, you can leave it.
No, cut it out. Cut it out. Or leave it in. Leave it in. I don't know.
Leave it the fuck.
Or it's not going to happen. I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe it's all a mystery.
Who knows?
It's all a mystery.
Cool, Claire. Cool. Reminder. Fire Claire.
That's not how these microphones work. You're not giving an
It was a bitch.
I just figured out about Google Calendar, so who knows?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Okay, no, I love pop music. I love it because I grew up in a very like music filled home. It's a huge like cultural touch point for me, a personal touch point, and also it's a great way of like I don't know, like changing the mood. Like it always feels like I am always doing it at a perhaps, or I'm attempting to do it at like an unexpected moment. And I love that. And I love the idea that the audience might be thinking that like one thing is going on or one tone is going on. Like this is very serious. And then all of a sudden something else happens, or this is not serious, but then listen to this ballad and take it seriously. God, maybe I do care about my audience. So yeah, I think that I'm going back to this idea of like being like so obsessed with authenticity and like honesty, there was a time when I was obsessed with accumulation and repetition in movement because of what it did to the breath. And I created, there was one scene, one moment in a dance many moons ago where I had folks doing this like bowling movement over and over and over again. I think it was Rick Westerkamp and Megan Whittemore. They were doing this over and over and over again. And then I brought that. I had a residency at my high school, and I brought that work to set on them. And this lovely dancer passed out doing it.
Wow.
And I was like, okay,
Commitment.
maybe I've taken this like sound obsession thing too far.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I love sound. I love the honesty of it. I love like bad singing. I love good singing. I love like just using the body, and especially in site-specific work, like I don't love the idea of like pulling in new elements other than the body. And so as much as I can use from it, I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I guess going back a little bit to audience, and like I feel like this has come up a little bit too as we're talking like this relationship to the audience, and then just pulling it back to this work where the audience is invited to roam to an extent.
Yeah.
It has a traveling
Yeah.
experience. So talk about sort of if there's anything you hope the audience gets from this like shifting of proximity and shifting of viewing. Yeah, and I guess maybe not totally what they get, because I think you've made it clear like that's not your goal, but more just how but you are doing something for an audience. So like how that experience, how you think about that experience, I guess.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want them to get something out of it. I just don't want to tell them what to get out of it.
Right.
And I'm not concerned with whether or not what they get out of it is what I put into it or what I got out of it. Right. But yeah, I think that what I'm interested in with this work, and I will say that this work is similar in a lot of ways to the work all my friends that I did at the Kennedy Center in 2022, in that the audience is really just like traveling along. But what I like about what I'm interested in with this is that with No Dead Ends is that there's a little bit more play with like proximity and distance. So like there are moments where the audience will be like quite far, and then moments where they're like really close, and then moments where I'm not in control of where they end up.
Yeah.
And neither are you all as dancers. And I think what I'm interested in is kind of like just like putting them in the position of having like as much sort of 360 access to the dancers as possible, because I think that again like folds into this idea of authenticity. Like you're not just seeing this like forward facing, you're not seeing what I want to show you, which is like this forward presenting thing. And I can't choreograph for a 360 audience all the time, and I don't know where they're going to end up. And there's, you know, there are roadblocks in this space that like we all have to navigate around, that it's not like this perfect in the round thing.
Right.
But it is something where like someone's going to be standing and they're just going to be looking at the back of your head or something. And like, that is as real as it gets, right? Like I'm not, there's no like theater magic. And I want to challenge audiences to like see that the body is interesting enough that like that theater magic isn't what makes dance great. The body is what makes dance great. Yeah.
Feels like kind of a good wrapping up moment. There is this last question, which I feel a little bit shy about, but it is about our history. So this does mark our 10-year collaborative anniversary. And yeah, I don't know, anything you want to share about our art or friendship?
Is this where we hold hands?
This is where we hold hands.
But yeah, like exactly like that though. It's like not a real hand holding.
No,
it's just like a gentle.
I would never. And somehow you're holding or like maybe like this. So this marks the 10-year anniversary of
It
our
does.
friendship.
Yeah.
And our artistic
Yeah.
also friendship.
Yeah.
Anything you want to share with me?
Yes. Well, first I want to say that in line with my like how I feel like I collect friends and dancers and things, we're doing this the whole time.
We have to do this. It's
Yeah.
endurance. It's
Okay.
endurance. Okay.
This is durational performance,
This
people.
is tough for me, to be honest.
Do you want? I feel like you can lower.
No, I think we'll just see what
Okay.
happens.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
durational. But this is the
I
task.
met you in a field work.
It's true.
And like thought you were a little weirdo like me. And you and Sarah Lewis, Nee Greenbaum. And, and I just like couldn't wait to work with you. I just thought like you clearly had your own like artistic vision, and you're such a great artist. And okay.
I feel like we're getting married right now. Like looking into each other's eyes, saying like how we met. I don't know, I've been to a bunch of weddings lately.
This is actually longer than what my actual wedding was, which took approximately 2 minutes at the DC courthouse.
Yeah.
Shout out, Mike. Love you. No, but here I do want to tell a story.
Okay.
About why I love working with you and why I think that it can be like really scary working with friends, and it can also be really great. And there was a moment after, I think it was target practice. No, it must have been maybe Victor. Nope. I don't know. It was something. It was another show. I think it was target practice. Where I had like a really difficult collaborative road with our composer.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you remember this like vaguely?
Vaguely.
Yeah. And it kind of like, I didn't realize how like miserable of an experience that made for everybody because of like my sort of inflexibility at the time. And I would also love to talk about how that has shifted. But I was getting ready to start the Kennedy Center process for all my friends. And I was like kind of stressed out about like, could I do this again? And could it be a positive experience? And I reached out to you, and I reached out to Amber, I think, and talked to you both about the experience. And Amber was so great. And then I feel like you were really comfortable being like super honest with me. I don't know if you even remember this, but you were like, yeah, this was really shitty. And you like put your stress about this partnership like onto the rest of us. And you were really like vocal about it in a way that made rehearsals like kind of difficult. I'm so glad you like vaguely don't really remember this.
Yeah, I do. I kind of do.
Yeah.
I kind of remember it.
But you were so honest with me, which of course is like, again, like authenticity. It's like all I ever like want and need. And but in like telling me that, I was like able to understand like what I needed to do differently and how I could move forward. And I thought that was so great that you were able to be like, yeah, like let's keep making stuff together, even though you weren't in that show. But you were something was going on, but
I had rhizome.
So yeah. But yeah, you were really, and it was like also in a time where I think like a lot of people were maybe not being honest with me, because maybe it was like right after my mom died and people were being like really nice to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think that you Claire plunged me into deep grief. No, you were like, get a therapist, and you can keep making dance.
Honestly, my best achievement.
That is the only achievement that you've ever had. Yeah, and I think that that's really important. I think it's important to have people like hold you to account and be real with you. And I think it's really great when it can be an artistic collaborator, because you can like also just keep working stuff out. And yeah, and I just like trust you so much, and that's so nice. Yeah. Now say 10 nice things about me.
Okay, well, you know what I'll do? I'm going to shout out my like 10, or maybe not 10. I don't know. We can see how many we can do, but like performance moments. Okay. With Darling Dance. Okay, 2015, Cradle Jessica Denson like pulling my underpants down to
Yes.
moon the audience.
Yes. I love nudity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that was an interesting one. I was like, all right, we can go for this. Nudity
Nudity with consent.
I want to say this was like maybe 2015, 2016, Akimbo, Baltimore endurance performance, like
100-degree weather.
on this, just kept going on like this street corner.
Oh my God.
No one really totally watching.
No, I think we had like 4 people came.
And this one sort of man walking by a couple times, and he goes, shit, still dancing? Great.
And I know it's going to be your next one.
Yeah. Next, this was definitely 2016 because I remember getting my IUD.
Yeah.
Which time to get that out? shout out to my IUD. No, cut that. Anyway, 2016. And the churning the butter.
I knew you were going to say that.
This was a school performance with Sarah Ludis.
Yep.
Greenbaum.
Greenbaum.
And, well, also it was amazing because she was doing a clap. She had like a clapping thing that was like part of the choreography, but it was like a school kid audience, and they just like, they're like, oh, it's a call and response clapping. They're conditioned. They're
they've been to enough
and
like
I had
dare
what we would describe as like a sort of an endurance churning butter.
Yeah. Back to that authenticity of sound.
Is there a video of any of those performances?
I have a lot of pictures of that
one. But the churning the butter, and I believe it was sort of like in silence, like this like churning butter, and some youth yelled out, "She working that stage though." Like there's like laughter and she working that stage though. And that's like, I've really held on to that one.
I mean, it's so iconic. And I do want to say about that performance that performance came about because it was all the teaching artists from Joy of Motion at the time who were invited to be part of that performance. And everybody else was doing like classical ballet or like tap or whatever. And I was like, there was a bench piece, of course. And I was like, let me come in here with my weird ass butter churning and clapping. And I will say no one was pleased.
I think the children kind of were.
Yeah. I mean, that one girl was. Yeah. Okay. I want more.
Okay. This is 2015 Cradle again, but definitely like the putting the feet. I put my whole foot in my mouth.
You did put your whole foot in your mouth.
I put my foot in my mouth. And then that came back as like a photo shoot. Foot and mouth became a thing.
This is another thing that I want to talk about in terms of like our collaborative work is something that I love about you is that like you're always up for at least trying my weird ideas.
I will try it all.
You will try it all,
and
I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I sort of lost like the timeline here. I mean, definitely Tiny Dancers. Chris, my beginning of my affair with Chris Isaac.
Yeah,
Isaac. How do you pronounce it? We'll never know.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. It's so weird that you taught me how to say detritus.
Oh yeah,
and you can't say other words.
Trying to think of. I don't know. It's getting blurry. But and then also was it what's the one with the confetti cannon? Miley Cyrus. Victor. Yep. I always have a karaoke song in Miley Cyrus now with but stuffing confetti up my underpants is a key moment.
That I don't know if people know this, but that piece had a little reference and shout out to Maida Withers in it because Maida did a work in like the I want to say 70s, maybe 80s, where she like did this deep plie and yelled "fuck shit popsicle," and it always like just like delighted me. And so we did shit for like a full 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was my reference.
Ate a piece of paper.
You ate a piece of paper.
Ate a piece of paper with water. Yeah.
What show was that?
Target. That was that same show.
It was the same show.
Yeah. Target practice. We ate pizza.
We did eat pizza.
We all ate pizza.
Yeah. That's another thing about like the taking up space thing. I love like women eating in public. Because like I don't think I ate in public for the entirety of high school. And I think like none of my girlfriends did either. Like it was like how dare you like be a human being? You're just this like tiny little package. And so now I love to eat on stage. I love having people having to like pay to watch me eat.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
That came out in a way that like
it's just you were doing it before OnlyFans. Like now people are doing that, but it's different.
Yeah, this is not like feeder stuff. This is like now we're going
Anyways, moving
keep it in.
But I do think the other thing, it wasn't a piece, but I do feel like that Mariah Miranda shout out photo shoot with like that purple bag.
That was really fun.
Did become sort of like a
iconic collab
scenario.
Yeah. Fake errands
most recently. 2024.
Yeah.
Fake errands.
To be continued.
A live podcast.
A live podcast.
And it did involve some eating, I think.
It always involves eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, those are some ones. Those are some top moments that I'll share.
Those are great.
With you,
Yeah.
the viewer.
Yeah.
With you. But I guess maybe a last question, it's just like to end on, and because you also brought up Maida too, it's like, do you feel like you're working in an artistic lineage, or what? How do you see sort of yourself fitting into like the timeline of dance in the district, perhaps?
Yeah.
Or dance in general? Like, what are these
lineage
you're pulling on?
I think for a long time, like starting in college, I became like obsessed with the idea that my lineage was like postmodern, Judson, like my obsession with Yvonne Rainer. I threw up when I met her, actually.
On her, or just like in your mouth?
I had to excuse myself to throw up, and then I came back and finished talking, and then I threw up in Irfana's car later that evening too, out of like sheer just like, oh my God.
Shout out Irfana for letting
Shout out Irfana. And so I think for a long time I was like kind of obsessed with that idea, and it has become a little bit more clear as I like understand myself more and am less trying to like fit into something, that actually I'm inspired by so many other things, and that my work is postmodern in that it is like really authentic and tries to be to come from like a human aesthetic and not necessarily from like a technical, well, we can argue what technique is, but like a classical technique space. Like it is like, what does the body do in a pedestrian way? There's a lot of pedestrianism in my work, but I actually think that my work is like kind of absurd theater a little bit more, maybe like more in line with like I would love like big dance theater, or like or just like anyone. I don't know. I've been like really inspired by sculpture lately. Really inspired by like lighting and visual art, and by just like anyone in any field sort of like doing their thing in the most like real, shameless way. And so I think now maybe I exist in the lineage of like shamelessness.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
the
like
lineage of shamelessness.
Yeah, but like maybe technically shamelessness postmodern. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That seems a good place to leave it. And anything else you want to share?
No, I don't think so. David. Oh, yeah.
Come see the show.
Come see our show.
Dead Ends.
No Dead Ends.
September
27th. Stay with me now.
September 27th.
At the Kreeger Museum. Very limited number of tickets, and the show is only happening once. So please come have this intimate experience with us. And yeah,
that's it.
I think that's it.
Follow on Instagram, Darling Dance.
Yes. Follow Darling.
Darling Dance.
Follow Darling Dance.
All lowercase.
Follow Darling Dance Co. All lowercase. All one word. I guess it has to be on Instagram. On Instagram, we are not active literally anywhere else. Our website is not up to date. But do follow us on Instagram. And yeah, I just want to, can I give a little thank you shout out? Yeah. Okay. So, shout out to David Dowling for having us on Dancing in the District. Claire, thank you so much for chatting to me. And shout out to, our producer, Natalie, who, has really been, just like the best through this process. And I think I will never work without her or a producer again, because it has just been, I've been able to like really focus on these fruit flies. I've been able to really focus on the art making, and that's been really cool in a really short period of time. Yeah.
And shout out Emily, Emmy, Courtney, Amber,
of course,
our cast.
Yes.
Our beautiful cast with me. But it's a great, great crew.
I do feel like the luckiest choreographer in the world, because I do get to work with dancers who are so interesting, so unique. Like, you know, everybody responds to prompts in these like really cool, interesting ways. So smart and just so great. Just like great, good people. I feel really lucky. Yeah.
Great.
Present company excluded. Included.
All right. Well, then I think that's it. Thank you, Hayley.
Thanks, Claire.
Thank you, Dancing in the District, and feed me my line, David. What is the line? What
Thanks
is
to
the
my
line?
dog for not
What is the
barking.
line? And thank you for
Dancing in the district. One more.
Dance. Thank you for dancing in the district.
What,
Thank
like,
you for. Thank you. Thank
thank
you.
you. I can't put my wine down.
Thank you
Thank you
for
for
dancing in the district.